What's up, folks? We are finally back at the sawmill today. After all this nasty weather, the snow, the ice, and rain, it's been terrible the last couple of weeks. As soon as that snow started melting, it got nasty and muddy out here, and then we got 2 days of rains. Haven't really been able to do anything at the sawmill. But today we're finally back. We got a little bit of break in the weather. We got some sun today. It's about 50 degrees out. It's still a little muddy, but we're gonna cut some wood today. I just went and picked up these fine 4 logs here. These are southern yellow pine. They're about 18 inches on the end. Pretty straight logs. I got that one order for board and batten on the horse stables. This is gonna finish that order out. I just needed these big logs to get these 16 footers out with. And that order is gonna finish out all these 8-foot 1x10s I cut. And he'll come pick those up and we'll finally get those out of here. We got all messed up with the weather, so he wasn't able to pick those up, and I wasn't able to get these 16 footers cut. They were pain in the butt getting on a trailer and loaded yesterday because it was so muddy. But it's starting to dry up a little bit. It's still nasty today, but we're made it to the sawmill. We're cutting today. And it's time to get a lot of work finished down here because we are behind on everything right now. This weather really put a dent in our sawmill in operation. I had 3 jobs cancel on me in the last 2 weeks just because of the weather. Like, people didn't want to come pick up, or they didn't want to do the work they were doing. I think weather changes people's moods and how people want to work on things, because when the weather gets bad and it's cold out, nobody wants to work on anything or build anything. So yeah, I had 3 people cancel. That's crazy, ain't it? Which is fine, because we've been snowed out and rained out and iced out. We weren't able to do the work anyway, so money lost. It was probably a couple grand lost out of that work. We got new orders coming in. We're gonna get those out and make our money back. All right, we're gonna get this raggedy log off here and throw one of those big ones on. And the blade hit the butt of the tree and kicked the blade off. It happens. Well, I definitely screwed some teeth up on that blade. It was still spinning when it popped, so. But it gives us an opportunity to try out our new Cook's 10-degree blades. We've had these blades for a couple weeks now, and we haven't been able to use them because of the weather. It's time to try those out. I'm gonna grab that box of blades and we're gonna put a 10-degree on there and see how that works with a pine. All right, you can see here, this is the Ultra 10. This is our first time trying the Ultra 10s out. Sharpen that one up. Again, this is the Cook's Ultra 10. This is the first time we've used these. We're about to see how well they do on some southern yellow pine. Definitely very sharp. I recommend wearing gloves. All right, we got that Cook's Ultra 10 on there. I'm excited to try this thing out. And don't forget, if you want to try Cook's blades, you can get 10% off using my standard 10 discount code. I'll have the link in the description. I promise you won't be disappointed. I gotta say, that first cut looks nice and clean. It's smooth too. We're gonna flip this log over and make some more cuts and see how well it does. They have a nice, smooth, clean cut. I'm curious to see how these things cut cedar. I bet they cut cedar really nice. I always have a problem with cedar because it shows up more saw marks than most other wood, but it's cutting that pine really nice. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, just from cutting this one time, this is the first time I cut with these 10 degrees. I'm gonna tell you I like the 8 degrees aggressiveness better. They do seem like they really just gnaw through the wood faster to me. These 10 degrees cut really well. They cut really smooth, but those 8 degrees, you can't beat those super sharp 8s. Those things are ripped through some wood. Both of these blades cut straight and true. Over time, I'm gonna be testing these 10-degree blades out on some cedar, some poplar, and some maple, I think, just to see how it does on different types of woods. But for the pine, it does pretty damn good job. We're gonna put these 10-degree blades to the test and see what I really think about them. All right, I'm gonna flip this log all the way back over onto the other side and take another inch off that side, just so we can kind of center this pith up a little bit. Then it'll be down to 10 inches and we can flip it up and start cutting our board. All right, I've got this log flipped over, and to do a true comparison, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a few cuts on this thing, cut a few boards with this 10-degree blade, and then I'm gonna swap out to the 8-degree, and just to get a real-time comparison on how it feels, because you never know, your sawmill could be cutting different one day or another, depending on, you know, sap caked in your wheel bearings or something, I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna swap that out. We're gonna do a true comparison, kind of a real-time comparison to see how different they cut. So I'll probably make 1 or 2 passes on the 10-degree, go ahead and get a couple of slices. I'm gonna get this bark off the top, get a couple boards cut down. Then we'll go ahead and swap over to the 8-degree, and then we'll cut it the rest of the way down with 8-degree and see what we think about it. I'll be honest, guys, I think the 8-degree is better in my opinion anyway. I think it's more of my favorite, but let's see. I know you can't get the full feel and effect of these blades when we sawing right here, but we cut several boards here. We got 3 boards cut with the 10-degree, so it's super smooth cuts, nice straight cuts. They do really well. I'm gonna go ahead and take this 10-degree off and put another 8-degree on it. 8-degree, if you can read that tag. So this is a super sharp 8-degree we're about to put on, and we're gonna try these things out, compare the two. That way I know for my own personal sake at least, or I can use it later. Ow, these gloves aren't the best gloves for dealing with blades. And again, just for reference, that is the Ultra 10. All right, again, this is the Super Sharp 8 degrees. And I know it does no justice at all for me to sit here and cut this and tell you how well they cut or don't cut or which one's better. You really have to feel it for yourself. On my honest opinion, they're both great cutting blades. You know, I think it may be a little different, maybe not. It may be a little different if you had a hydraulic sawmill or something with power feed and you could just ram through these things. I think my biggest downfall on this mill is the small engine. If I had more horsepower, I could really tell a difference. Because I know with the 10 degree, it cuts smooth, it cuts nice, it cuts clean. However, I could push that 8 degree a lot faster. You can feel it gnawing the wood away and cutting quicker, but also my engine will run out of power real quick on that 8 degree. It's a fine line between ripping right through the wood and stalling the motor out, because you can really feel that thing gnawing the wood, and it's really easy to over push it. I can push it a lot faster than the engine wants to turn that blade, just because it's cutting so well. And you know, that's not always what you're looking for. You're not always looking for the fastest cut. You also want a clean cut. So, and there's variables in both type of blades. You know, there's several different ways you can cut. You can cut fast or you can cut clean. Sometimes those two things don't go together. You can get a super aggressive blade that's going to cut really fast and leave all kind of marks in the wood, but not have a smooth cut. So maybe that's how I need to look at these blades. I feel like the 8 degree is faster, but the 10 degree is cleaner. On the old blades I was using, when you push too hard, you start dipping into wood and start getting wavy lumber and just nasty looking wood. But with these Cook's blades, you don't get that. I get engine bog. So they're doing their job. It's cutting, it's doing well. I don't have the horsepower to run through these cants like some mills do. I feel like these blades would hold up through some pretty high speeds through lumber. So that's my comparison of the Cook's Ultra 10s and the Super Sharp 8 degree blades. If you want a smoother cut, go with the 10 degree. If you want a faster cut, go with the 8 degree. And the only way you're going to know for yourself is try them out yourself. Go to Cook's, check them out. Like I said, I promise you won't be disappointed. Use my discount code, standard10, get 10% off your order. And try these blades out. They make them for every kind of meal because they manufacture these things in-house. So no matter what kind of meal you have, they'll make them for it. And we got some nice, pretty lumber out of that thing. That tree made 12 1x10s. Actually, it made more. I think I got 3 usable slabs I can cut into 1x10s out of this. And I got 12 boards here. So that definitely made more than 10. That was the smallest log. So I'm guessing the rest of these are going to do really good. But I'm losing daylight today. Tomorrow I'll get down here and finish those other logs out to get that order out of here. But that's going to do it for today's video. I really wanted you guys to see those blades and do that comparison between the 10 degree and the 8 degree. I really wanted to know myself. I thought it'd be pretty informative to tell you guys as well. But don't take my opinion. Try them yourself. Link is in the description. But as always, I really appreciate you guys dropping in and hanging out and watching the show. Go ahead and hit that hype button. And if you like our content, hit that subscribe button to see more. Check out our patrons, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. We'll see you in the next one.